Alright, I think I will. I can't be that loud right now because my girlfriend's sleeping. But I will try to make a small YouTube video tier list. Only the relevant one. Obviously, Falcon should win all the other matchups. Doesn't matter if it's DK, Zamus, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. So I need to open PG stats because PG stats is relevant for some of my decision making. Alright, let's start with the 55-45 matchup. This is gonna be that one, Peach. Even though I spent my last weeks analyzing almost every Peach set top tier, like it doesn't matter if it's Triff or Wizzy Triff or Salt, Lot or whatever. Right now, how the current meta is, how people play the matchup, I say it's Falcon favorite. Armada time it was Peach favorite. It really depends on how the Peach player plays the matchup actually. There are a lot of ways to contest Falcon's Snare, but if a Peach player actually doesn't decide to do that and they corner themselves and keep only playing with shield and CC, it's a losing matchup. Because Falcon can pressure for free, Nair, dashback, Nair, dashback, Nair, dashback, until Peach one day will try to approach, try to dash attack, and then get CC, and then someone like Wizzy, or very high level player Salt, 0 to death off of a grab. That's why I give Falcon the edge, because I think the way Peach players approach this matchup right now is not as good as Armada used to do it, and yeah, I think it's Falcon favorite. And also I think that because I checked a lot of stats, Peach sets, right? And overall all the Falcons have a very high win rate against the Peaches, 70-80% for example. Let's check that real quick. We got quite a few now, right? Okay, only one set, two sets, 2, 5, 8. So okay, this is Wizrobe right now, who's obviously the very best at this matchup, right? So one set, 2. Actually, that's pretty interesting. Very like 10% Salt favors. This is obviously one-sided. Yeah, so if we can continue like that with all the good Falcons versus all the pro Peaches, you will just see that the win rate wise, it's very dominant for Falcon. So I think the Falcons right now dominate this category. Obviously, as I said, if Peaches would approach the matchup differently with Armada's style, contesting more aggressive Falcon Snare, also what Armada used to do, even in this like analysis video, he used to talk about it, that he tries to position himself as close as possible to Falcon's Snare range and then dash attack with Punisher landing. He was very good, brilliant at doing this and make the life hard for Falcon and make Falcon scared to use Nair in front of Peach. So we have S2J, and let's see here, for example, okay, negative win rate here, 100%, even, only 2 sets, 100%, 100%. So again, if you, actually this is interesting. So if you continue with these kind of stats, you will see that the Falcons have a positive win rate, unless you put Armada in. Armada is the only one that kind of like would disagree with that stat, because he had like 100% win rate or whatever against the Falcons. And that's the only reason. If Armada wouldn't like exist and prove that Peach wins this matchup, I think people nowadays and generally would always say that Falcon Heart wins this matchup. But you need a guy like him to be able to show that this matchup is very even. I would even say it's like 50-50-ish. When I play against Triff, it feels bad for Falcon, but I'm not good at the matchup. I understand the theory, but the execution is very, very hard. So right now, current state, all the Falcons have very strong win rate against the Peaches. I give the edge Falcon. 50-50 is this matchup. Um, Again, like usually I would say that Falcon beats Pika, but whenever X plays against the Falcons, I think he has the most game 5 sets against any Falcon. It's always game 5, last game, last stock, game 5, game 5, game 5. Even Wizzy used to say that on his tier list. I think this matchup would probably give Falcon the edge slightly, but you don't have many good Pikachu players in order to compare any statistics or whatever, so it's very hard to say. And the Falcons don't have really much the practice, because X only exists once, right? So they can only play Pikachu of that caliber once, so it's very hard to tell. I say it's like 50-50. The one who plays better, has better punish, used to win, or should win. Pikachu is very hard to hit, very tiny, has strong gims. The up air, whatever that tail is, it clips so much of Falcon has to be really careful with jumping in this matchup. If he gets clipped, he gets comboed very, very, very hard, and it's just a very interesting and difficult matchup. I'm not also that good in that matchup. Next thing, 45-55. Like slightly losing matchups, right? I would say it's one of them is Puff. I think Puff is slightly losing, but on Puff I'm also not sure, because many people say that Falcon destroys Puff. It's either here or here. I wouldn't say Falcon hard beats Puff due to things like risk reward. For example, if you're a few frames too late for a grab and you get CC res and you die, you lose one stock immediately. If you get clipped in the air and you get back at carried off stage, you die immediately. There are a lot of situations where you immediately lose a stock, compared to you have to work very hard for a stock sometimes against Puff. So it's a very difficult matchup, and Wizzy pretty much the only one who was able to dominate H-Box, right? But again, at the very top level, the skill difference is so immense that it actually destroys matchup flowcharts, or like percentages. What do I mean by that? I mean like Armada completely destroying that statistics. Otherwise, if you would compare all the Peach versus Falcon statistics, easy. So it's very difficult. The same problem is with Falco. For example, I think Falco is one of Falcon's better matchups. I think this matchup might even go into this category nowadays. Back then people used to put Falco here. I think this matchup was very underdeveloped for many years. People used to not... The main argument back then was, when you asked Falcon mains, would you rather play against Falco or Fox? The main argument was, yeah, against Fox at least you can move. And against Falco, you can't move, and the movement is Falcon's biggest strength, so the matchup is the worst. That was the main argument for years why Falco is like very, very unwinnable back then. Nowadays, with all the cookbook stuff, technology, meta changes, take laser dash is so common, crouch cancel is not even implemented that much. One of the very few being really good at crouching lasers and acting out of it. You have the dashback power shields, you have ADT power shields at you. And the thing is that if you get one of these counterplay situations, Falco dies at 30%, 40%. If he dies worse, he dies very fast. Double laser from ledges, we have like 10 solutions nowadays and all that, you know, and I think the Falcons were really bad at the matchup for many, many years. Nowadays, if you compare the stats nowadays, every Falcon does amazing versus the Falcos. They beat Magi, they beat Fiction, they beat pretty much everyone. Ginger has almost 0% win rate, I think, against Wizrobe or other Falcons. The Falcons farm the birds right now. The only Falco, again, who destroys some sort of statistics is Mango. But in my honest opinion, I think it has nothing to do with Mango playing Falco. I think he skill gaps the players. It wouldn't matter, in my opinion. He could just go Fox and win or he could just go something else and win, because he's so good at the game. He's so much better at mixing people up and all that. And as I said, at the very, very top level, the skill difference is huge. It might not look a lot plays rank 3 against plays rank 20, but it's insanely gapped skill-wise. It might look like this when you look at the list, for example, right? I don't know, for example, you just look, you be like, yeah, here Zane or Cody, here for example, Aklo, the difference might not be that big. Bro, from analytical point of view, if you analyze these players and see how they play, it looks like this on the list, but it's like this in real, like, it's insane actually. And this is why also Mango and S2J played a million sets, so Mango obviously is the best at the matchup, right? It's the best mix-ups, one of the best punishes. He understands how Falcon works 100% almost, and still the people, like when none actually played against Mango and beat him the first time with the CC technology and all that, mixing him up, beating double laser from ledge. Also Wizzy has one, I think, and the other Falcons, or a few of them, have gotten really close, or one at least a set. This is like indicator that if they keep implementing cookbook stuff and all that, then this matchup will get very even. Also interesting statistic. Let me see where the window is. If you look at S2J versus, for example, let's clear the features. Let's say against Fiction, right? And because Mango, as I said, skill difference is just too high. I think Fiction skill-wise is very even with S2J. And if you look, they have 50 sets, and it's dead even via this statistic at least. And I think the higher you go for both sides, the more even this matchup gets. Falcon needs one counterplay, blows Falco up. He's very easy to edge guard. He's very short up B range. Yeah, the higher the level gets, the more even I think this matchup is. Obviously, if Mango or like someone is very high skill level wise, he will always dominate, no matter like the matchup. And this is why I think, from analytical point of view, if you would take a Falcon and download the cookbook and insert it like a program, I think every Falco would complain because they couldn't laser properly. They would always get power shielded on, always. The whole cookbook is so big on counterplay. Falcos would actually be really scared to laser in this matchup and actually be scared to get close to Falcon. One up tilt, you die. One spot dodge, you die. One bad laser, you die. So very volatile matchup. Both are glass cannons, but I think Falcon lives way longer if he doesn't get down air comboed at the very end. Falco, on the other hand, if you combo him Stomp, he dies very, very quick. You don't have to overcomplicate the punish game or the combo game. So this is why I think I would put, still, because due to factors like laser, shine out of shield, all that omega broken stuff, it's hard to say that Falcon wins due to the fact that Falco has these tools. These tools are just all so omega broken that you can't say Falcon wins. But I think it's very even, or it goes into an even-ish direction if the Falcon really puts in the work. Next matchup I would also put in this category is Marth. And I think I'm very, very good against Marth. I understand the matchup very well. Also analyzed million sets, read everything that I could find on the internet. The main thing is that Marth throws out a move and dashbacks. Pair, auto cancel nair, and always dashbacks. The thing that what makes Falcon so strong usually is his nair, and nair is very bad against Marth. It loses to almost everything that Marth uses. On the other hand, both characters have an interesting thing. Falcon can crouch cancel every move Marth has. Marth can crouch cancel almost every move that Falcon has. So I think the one who plays more grounded and tries to whiff grab the other player more tends to win. This matchup is very crouch cancel heavy at top level. So if Marth, you can like grab his nairs and all that, but it's so frame tight that if you are a little bit too slow, he can actually get his dashback out and then get a hard combo on you. very, very tight matchup. Also volatile. I think Falcon's punish game is amazing at the matchup, but also Marth's punish game is very, very, very strong. Both sometimes struggle to edge guard the other one. Falcons are very lazy with hex dash edge guarding, struggle. Marth are not really covering that little drift mix up Falcon has. They struggle too. Most of them, not everyone. I'm not talking for everyone. I think like in general, right? A lot of mix-ups in this matchup. Like Marth uses an air, the other Falcon predicts the dashback, so Falcon overshoots and tries to catch him on the dashback. At lower level, you will always get the opening. At higher level, the Marth will shield on reaction, and then it goes on from there. Basically, very, very tight matchup. I wouldn't put it on 50-50 because of the dash dance factor, because when Marth dash dances, he's so small, he's so tiny, he's so hard to hit, a ton of stuff whiffs, sadly. And when Falcon dash dances, he's like a very, very, very big hitbox running across the whole stage, and he gets clipped very easily. Marth dash dance is too broken. A lot of grabs whiff from Falcon, even if he correctly CCs grabs and tries to whiff grab. Still, due to the fact that Marth is so tiny during his dashbacks, a lot of stuff whiffs. Very hard matchup. I don't know how Zane and I think Woozy and Zane, I think Woozy might have like the edge. We can see, for example, Zane, but he's obviously, again, with Zane, the skill difference, because I think he's such an amazing player, it's hard, because he used to dominate the Falcons pretty much, except Woozy maybe, but let's see. How many Zanes are there actually? Does he show a middle finger? Okay, this is only 2 sets. I don't know what this is. Paper Tiger. What the fuck's that? Oh, we need Woozy. So against S2J it's very even, almost. He has a 55% win rate. Very even against Woozy. None okay. None also not. And I'm not saying he's bad, but he doesn't play flowchart heavy. He doesn't do chain grabs, re-grabs, instant up air. He plays how he feels like. Yeah, sometimes he will like do weird up airs back or whatever. He plays how he feels like. I really respect it. But on if you want to play like really optimal, convert hard and all that, I think None as an insane neutral but punish game is might be a problem. If you give None with this punish game, top 5 easily, because he's so good at the neutral, so smart, he outplays in so many situations. And the thing is, if you win neutral 10 times more than your opponent, but your punish game doesn't always convert because it's read heavy and you on a bad day you miss almost every read, obviously your overall win rate will be low compared to Woozy or SUJ, who try to keep or to have the best possible punish game, for example, right? That doesn't mean that everyone has different strengths. One has better neutral, smarter neutral, better edge guards. One might have the best punish game, and one might have a mix of all. Insane neutral, best wave dash out of shield, in my opinion. Suje, very good positioning, best nair spacings. You know, everyone has their own pros and cons. So still very even. And this is only 2 sets. Okay, this is a lot of sets actually. So I think Marth slightly wins, very slightly. The next 2 matchups, obviously Sheik is here. Yeah, I think this matchup is very bad for Falcon. Very bad. When Plub plays on point, I gotta be honest, man, it doesn't look like Falcon has a lot of chance. The only one who would actually, I think, disagree here is Chef Rock, because he has so much anti-Sheik stuff that I think he would argue that the matchup isn't that bad. For Shito would say, nah, it's probably somewhere here. But I think, like, from what I've seen so many years, the grabs with so many times when she crouches, the edge guarding sometimes can get difficult. The punish game. The thing is, Sheik will always just CC, wave dash in CC, wave dash in shield grab, and all these nair and jab shenanigans that Falcon has get all abused. CC grabbed, shield grabbed, and it's very, very hard. The problem are not even only the tilts. The tilts are something that you can beat with your own CC and very good spacing and all that. It's very almost impossible to avoid every grab against Sheik, and her grab game is so brutal. If she wouldn't even like jab reset, then you couldn't even SDI get out of it, so she could tech chase you so hard. And I think the counterplay cookbook section for Sheik is very underused nowadays. People are not on the level yet. Same with Falco. On Falco, I would say the Falcons slowly improved, and they improved a lot recently. Against Sheik, if you study the cookbook section, there are a lot of things that haven't even been implemented yet. Just a matter of time when the Falcons will actually beat or like get very good at the matchup. They're already good, don't get me wrong, but as I said, download cookbook Sheik versus Sheik and insert it to a Falcon like Salt, someone with insane movement and all that. I think Salt is amazing versus Sheik because she plays in a way that most Sheiks aren't used to. She moves across the whole stage with platforms and confuses them. This is what she's very, very good at. And then also her movement. She approaches from different angles, not only from the same nair angle in front of Sheik. So I think like Salt is amazing versus Sheik. But a player like Plab is similar to what I was talking about, like Mango and Armada. The skill difference matters a lot at the very top level. So if the Falcon doesn't go absolute TAS mode, I think this is very bad. Very, very bad. Last matchup is Fox. I think Fox is Falcon's worst matchup by far. Like, I need to think about what I'm saying, but this matchup is so fucking bad for Falcon. It's not even about up tilt, it's just shine. The shine is too good. It's way too good. It's Fox's whole kit on a punish game. It doesn't matter with what he touches you, basically, it leads into something. And this is just too broken. Too broken, in my opinion. It doesn't matter if it's a fair or up tilt, up air. When we play against Fox, it feels like whatever touches you leads into a perfect follow-up. Second thing, if up smash or up air connect and you can't, or sometimes you don't get the SDI correctly or the wiggle, it feels like it combos automatically into 5 more of these, like one up air connects into 5 or one up smash. Is so disgusting, this matchup to play. Edge guarding Fox is so difficult for Falcon. He has a lot of 50-50 edge guards. He can't always react to the Firefox or side B perfectly. Fox has too many mix-ups with shine stalls, double jump stalls, up B angles, high up B mid. It's crazy actually. It's like, I'm at a point right now that I regret not maining Fox due to the fact how good Fox is. I think this character is so fucking overpowered. The fact that after up B and he lands on stage, he has zero lag, zero. He can spot dodge immediately or whatever act. It's so hard to cover that, all that. I personally think he could need some nerfs. Personally, like landing lag up after up B would be fair. So you take away some of his 1 million mix-ups and reduce it to 100,000, you know? Way too broken. The thing is, Fox can play either aggressive, because he has the best shield pressure in the game, arguably with Falco due to the shine thing, or if they execute correctly, you can shield grab them, and they can camp. So either he's very good and he approaches you and fucks you up because you can't really act out of shield due to shine pressure, or he just camps, crouch cancels and shines you, or shields your approach on reaction and shines out of shield you. So no matter how he plays, he can actually decide how to play the matchup. Yeah, he has to be careful of Lord Storms, but nowadays people overshoot a lot of times, up smashes, and if Fox catches your Lord Storm with an up smash, have fun. It's like over. You lose the stock against a very high Fox, like left an IBDW or whatever. If they catch you, Yeah, this matchup is just on. Falcon only has a chance when he goes task mode, when he gets all the reads, punishes the up tilts perfectly, the spot dodges, gambles, jumping off stage, so he can actually win a set or two. But on the long term, no way. On the long term, you will lose way more than you win, uh, no matter how the skill is like. This matchup is just too bad for Falcon in almost every aspect. The 3 frame jump squat is too broken if Fox starts to wall like a machine. Hex, for example. Backer. I know you can crouch cancel it, but if he walls with like a machine gun and he abuses the 3 frame jump squat, he can wall so brutally. Nair, backer. It's just insane. I think this character is just too good. Falcon can definitely win, but not on the long run if Fox does optimal stuff. IBDW used to struggle a little bit back then, and funny thing, I actually have a lot of respect for him because he plays Falcon sometimes on stream, and he says sometimes when he plays Falcon against Fox or whatever, or Fox against Falcon, he admits how insanely bad this matchup is for Falcon, that it's like mind blowing. And he has actually a lot of respect from me because he admits that this matchup is just not winnable for Falcon. Even if you would download the cookbook and give it to Falcon and you play against IBDW, who has a good day and plays very clean, I don't see Falcon winning. You need too much. You need the cookbook stuff. You need perfect punish game like Wizrobe, and not Wizzy is not any day on 100%. You need the reads from none. You need S2Js maybe spacings. You would have to create such a insanely monster Falcon in order to beat someone like of that level. It's just very unlikely to happen. It can happen. It might happen. It will happen. But I'm just saying it's very unlikely. A nightmare bracket is like Foxes for the Falcons when they have like Moki and then Aklo and then Hex and then IBD. Bro, it's just. If this matchup would be all Marth or Falcos, I think the Falcons would be fine. If it's like, let's say, Magi, Ginger, Fiction, whatever, better than all these Foxes. Yeah, this is my final conclusion, but this is just because I analyzed and watched all the Armada or a lot of Armada videos on Peach Falcon to understand this matchup. Could go 50-50. Here I'm not sure. Pretty much, I think, due to the fact that Puff can crouch. If Puff couldn't crouch under Falcon's grab, I would say Falcon destroys Puff, but due to that fact only, it's very risky. This matchup gets so volatile and Falcon has to choose his grabs. Not a lot info on this matchup. Maybe X can check the stats, maybe that would be interesting. For example, X against, let's see, the Falcons, how I would say like 50-50-ish could slightly go into one direction, right? I mean, not that fine here. Coin flip, very good, very good. It's like hard to say, right? It's just sad that there's no other Pikachu that we compare stats to. But I think due to the fact that there's so many game 5 sets between the Falcons and X, it goes into 50-50-ish direction. I think even like game 5 livestock, a lot of sets. Like type in X versus one Falcon and you will see it goes game 5. That's how tight that matchup is. This matchup is a lot mental war. I think a lot of mental aspect. Not getting outcamped, not getting tilted. This is a really mental test, and flowchart is important. The flowchart I played completely different because I always go for knee, nipple, repeat. But I'm also not that good against Puff. Someone like Wizzy, who is very, very good in the matchup. I don't actually know how Wizzy score against H-boxes. Let's see this one. That also might be interesting. Yeah, it's very, very, very even. This is how I would like also say the matchup is very even. So about these matchups, for example, Falco, right? Let's say Wizzy against the Falcos. So you see. So Ginger has a 0% win rate. He has actually never beaten Wizzy. for example. Obviously, as I said before, Mango could also play Fox or whatever. He's just very, very good against Falcon. It's not only matchup relevant, but Woozy was to be not very good at the matchup back then. Only shielding and jumping in place, and Mango just always got to approach for free, shield, and you know. This is only 4 sets, okay. Positive, positive. So hard to say. Let's go with... Let's see S2J versus these Falcons. I will just like exclude, or however you say, Mango, because it's, you know, it's same with Armada. These win rates are just way too... They break the system basically. So that even this is the good thing about this statistic, is that they have so many sets and not only like 2 sets. This is why the statistic for me matters a lot, because I think they're very, very evenish. Okay, Ginger again, negative win rate, it's fine. He might be very good at other matchups. Positive win rate, only 1 set. Do they only have 1 set? It looks unrealistic. Is Bobby Big Balls? Bobby Frizz? Oh, okay. I was wondering only... okay, so you see, the win rates, like the Falcons, do very well against the birds, trust me. I would even bet my money, except unless it's Mango. But this is why I think the matchup is not bad for Falcon anymore. Very, very decent statistics, positive win rates overall, and a lot of sets. So yeah, this matchup will go into a very even category. We can even check Salt maybe against the Falcos. And Ginger, right? Okay, against Bobby, again, very positive score in a lot of sets. This is almost 50%. This is all, you see that it goes into, and Fiction there, because I think Fiction is very, very good against Falcon. He's also becoming a small exception, because his stats, he's the only bird that can like avoid, you know what I mean? Getting into the category of getting dominated by the Falcons. He's pretty much the only one, together with Mango, who can avoid that. So S2J having a very even record with him is very strong. So yeah, Sheik is, again, I don't know, man. I just think it's very bad when Sheik is cracked, and Fox is Fox. This is my tier list. Actually, I will upload that on YouTube. You can also write in the comments, man. This is just my opinion from analyzing and watching almost every Falcon set on YouTube over the last, I don't know, man, 8-9 years. This is also analytical point of view. Cookbook, I studied the whole thing, all the matchups. The Peach I studied the last weeks. I was like really good at the matchup, but nowadays I know exactly what's going on, every situation, but still very hard to deal with. And I think the Peaches should invest more work, and yeah. So guys, have a good one if anyone is still here, and talk to you later.